It should have felt over. What happened in that store should have been a nightmare, a moment my mind would slowly bury beneath routine and daylight. But the problem with places like that is, they don't let you forget. The next day, the world looked the same. People walked, cars passed, screens glowed. Normal life carried on as if nothing had happened. As if I hadn't disappeared into another reality and walked back out. Yet something had changed. Every reflection felt delayed. Every shadow seemed a second too slow to follow me. The quiet hummed, like a warning signal buried inside the air itself. And somehow, I already knew where my feet were taking me. Back to the store. I told myself it was closure, that I just needed to see it in the daylight. To confirm it was real, or prove that it wasn't. But standing across the street, staring at the entrance, the sign flickering weakly in the pale morning light, I felt the same pressure in my chest, like the store recognized me. Inside, everything looked normal at first glance. Same shelves, same freezer hum, same tired music leaking from cheap speakers. But the people, they were wrong. A man stood at the counter, holding the same bottle of soda. He hadn't moved an inch since I walked in. Not blinking, not breathing, just paused. A woman in the snack aisle scanned the same row of chips again and again and again, repeating the exact same motion, looping. Two teens laughed quietly near the back, but their voices were hollow, mechanical, too perfectly timed, too empty. When one of them turned to look at me, his eyes didn't react. No recognition, no emotion, no life. Just an empty stare that passed straight through me like I wasn't even there. A chill crawled up my spine. I walked further inside, slowly, carefully, afraid of triggering something that didn't follow human rules. "Hello?" I tried softly. No one answered. But several heads turned toward me at the exact same time. All in unison. All wrong. The air felt heavier with every step, like invisible gravity was bending toward a single point. And then I felt it again. That presence. Not a body, not a creature, more like a pressure behind reality itself. The lights flickered once, twice, 3 times, and the shelves shifted. Not physically, but in alignment. The lines began pointing somewhere, guiding me, toward the back, toward the place where the door had been. Except this time, there was no door. Just an open, yawning darkness between 2 shelves. A hole in the world that should not exist. It didn't move. It didn't breathe. But it felt aware. And around it, the people began to change. Their movements became more jerky, more delayed. One woman's head twitched to the side and stayed there. Another man began smiling wider and wider and wider, until the corners of his mouth split unnaturally. A child stood motionless near the darkness, staring into it, as if listening to a voice I couldn't hear. Then suddenly, he whispered, "They said you would come back." The sound of his voice was the only real thing in the entire store. I froze. "What did you say?" I whispered. The child's eyes turned slowly toward me, and for the first time since entering this place, there was awareness in them. Real consciousness. fear, recognition. "You weren't supposed to remember," he said softly. "You weren't supposed to open it again." A sharp pressure hit my head, like something digging into my thoughts. Images exploded behind my eyes. Flashes of the store, the door, the darkness. Me standing here before, more than once. I stumbled back, grabbing a shelf just to stay standing. "What are you?" I breathed. The space between the shelves rippled, not visually, but in reality, like something enormous had just shifted its attention toward me. Then I heard it. Not a voice, a thought, slipping inside my mind like smoke through cracks. "You don't belong to the same version of yourself anymore." My heart hammered so hard I thought it would crack my ribs. The people around me began stepping in perfect synchronization, slowly, mechanically, closing the distance, becoming a circle, trapping me. Yet they weren't the danger. They were just puppets. The real monster was the space itself. The air warped. The floor felt liquid for half a second. My reflection appeared on the freezer doors, but distorted. In the reflection, I didn't look alone. Something stood behind me. Tall, vast, not shaped like a creature, but shaped like an absence of reality, a shadow where existence failed. Then the child spoke one last time, almost apologetically. "It knows you now, Kier." The lights went out. Complete darkness. But I could still see the outline of the presence. Not with eyes, with instinct. It leaned closer. And the thought returned, heavier this time. "You opened a path, and now you are part of this place." Suddenly, all the lights snapped back on. Everyone around me froze again, returned to normal positions. Normal shelves, normal store. A normal world pretending nothing was wrong. But near the back aisle, another sign flickered to life. One I hadn't seen before. Not exit. It said, "Level 2, access granted." And this time, it was pointing deeper inside, toward a section of the store that never existed before. As I stepped toward it, the lights began to hum louder, like something was waking up, waiting for me, inviting me forward. And far behind the shelves, I heard slow, deliberate footsteps, without any body to make them.